All right. This one we're going to call the Bad Boys from Antioch. Take a look at the prodigal son. Or how the James gang can ruin a buzz kill at a good reunion party. Isn't that a great title? How the Bad Boys from Antioch take a look at the prodigal son. Okay. A brother from the James gang did not like my interpretation of some of Jesus blamed the sinner for sending himself to an endless hell, quote unquote. My comment was thus: the lost coin can only blame itself for being lost, right? The lost sheep can only blame himself for straying, right? And getting lost. The shepherd suffers no losses. The coin's owner suffers no losses. And the sheep and the coin suffer the loss and are to be blamed. How am I doing? Am I getting this free will theology right? Well, anyway, this moron from James gave me his reply. He said, he said, it's tough to use a parable out of context to prove a point. Would you interpret it that God pretended he lost his sheep and coin and then put on a great acting performance when he found them and then eventually caused everyone to come and celebrate with him? Did you avoid the story of the prodigal son because the father let the son choose to leave? Let the word speak, brother. That was his reply to me. Can you hear the pretension and the self-righteousness in it? Anyway, my reply: let the word speak? Okay, how about this? All is of God. All is out of him, through him, and for him. In him we live and move and are. He is not attended by human hands as if he needed anything. He makes the world and all that is in it, and he gives life and breath and all to all. And those references are 2 Corinthians 5, Romans 11:36, Acts 17:28, Acts 17:25, Acts 17:24, and Acts 17:25 again. Okay. You can never do anything right when those guys from the James gang are around. They are going to find fault with you left and right because they strain at gnats and they swallow camels. The James gang are those certain men come from James, quote unquote. They're those certain men come from James in Galatians 2:12. And they are legalistic and they're trying so hard to establish their own righteousness, and they hate Paul and his evangel. They send spies into our meetings to spy out our freedom. And they're actually false brethren. They intend to enslave us. It says so in Galatians 2:4. Well, when the bad boys from Antioch take a look at the prodigal son story, they get all excited. They totally identify with the main character, the prodigal. But it doesn't take long for them to comment, hey, this story is not about the son at all. It's all about the father. You see, the father loves both of his boys, the good boy and the rotten one. The father could have made sure the wild boy stayed home so no harm would come to him, but what fun is that? It's not a matter of free will, as the James gang would have you believe. It's a matter of the Father's insight and his Aeonian purpose. See Ephesians 3:11. It's a matter of the Father's insight and his Aeonian purpose. You can even leave out the word Aeonian. It's a matter of his purpose. Ephesians 3:11. Dare we suggest that Israel is the good son, and we, the bad boy Gentiles, are the prodigal son? God, through Paul's evangel of grace, has brought us in, and it sure has pissed off the legalistic, works-oriented James gang. But the Father makes sure all his children get the exact experience they need to settle down and see and know and love him when the story concludes. 1 Corinthians 15:20 to 28. That's worth reading again. The Father makes sure all His children get the exact experience they need to settle down and see and know and love Him when the story concludes. From 1 Corinthians 15:20 to 28. The prodigal son and the good son. It's not a matter of free will, as some would have you believe, but it's a matter of the purpose of God. Again, Ephesians 3:11. The bad boys of Antioch look at the story of the prodigal son and they see that it's all about the father. The James gang looks at the story and thinks it's all about free will. And they get pissed at the celebration of the prodigal's return. Postscript. The reason the James gang can't see this story as really all about the Father is this. The free willer's message is all about I, and me. They worship the creature above the Creator. Romans 1:25. They worship free will, not God's sovereignty. Okay, you ready for this? Let's go to Luke 15. Here's what the bad boys from Antioch read. This is exciting. Ready? Luke 15. Remember, we're in the middle of doing a study in Acts, which was written by Luke. So Luke has this story over here, verse 11 from chapter 15. Now, Jesus said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to the father, Father, give me the part of the estate accruing to me. Now he is apportioning to them the livelihood. And after not many days, gathering all together, the younger son travels to a far country and there dissipates his estate, living profligately. Now, he, spending all, a severe famine occurred in that country, and he begins to be in want. And going, he was joined to one of the citizens of that country, and he sends him into his fields to graze hogs. And he yearned to be satisfied with the little carob pods which the hogs ate. No one gave to him. I've had carob pods. They taste kind of like chocolate. Verse 17. Now coming to himself, he averred, how many of my father's hired men are being cloyed with bread, yet I am perishing here of famine. Rising, I will go to my father and declare to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. No longer am I worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired men. And rising, he came to his father. Now, at his being still far away, his father perceived him and has compassion, and running, falls on his neck and fondly kisses him. Now the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. No longer am I worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired men. Yet the father said to his slaves, Quick, bring forth the first robe and put it on him, and give him a ring for his hand and sandals for his feet. And bring the grain-fed calf, sacrifice it, and eating, we may make merry. For this my son was dead and revives. He was lost and was found. And they began to make merry. Now his elder son was in the field, and coming he nears the house. He hears the music and the choral dancing, and calling one of the boys to him, he inquired to ascertain what this may be. Now he said to him, Your brother is arriving, and your father sacrifices the grain-fed calf, seeing that he got him back sound. Now he is indignant and would not enter. Get it? He's indignant and would not go into the party. He's going to do this buzzkill routine, just like the damn James gang. Now he is indignant and would not enter, yet his father, coming out, entreated him. Now he is answering and said to his father, Lo, these many years I am slaving for you, and I never passed your precept, and you never give me a kid that I may make merry with my friends. Yet When this son of yours came, who was devouring your livelihood with prostitutes, you sacrificed for him the grain-fed calf. Now he said to him, Child, you are always with me, and all mine is yours. We must be merry and rejoice, for this your brother was dead and revives, and was lost and was found. Wow. So many lessons here, but this story is not about the prodigal son. It's about the father. And of course the father loves good boys that stay home and help out. But the father loves the bad boys too. And it's not about the bad boys' behavior. It's not about the good boys' behavior. It doesn't matter what their behavior is. The father loves his sons. I hope you can see this. This is a great story and worth your attention. It's worth liking this thing and sharing it. And I'll leave the text of this whole thing in the first comment, and then you guys can pass it on and use it for yourself. Paste it in anywhere you want. Grace to you. Hey.